this.
Welcome back, guys, to another Clash Royale video, and today we're going to be taking a look at this Lava Rage deck, as I'm calling it, and that involves using the Lava Hound with the Rage spell. Now, the whole idea here is people often underestimate the Lava Hound by himself. They normally expect some big damage unit following it up, like a balloon or a minion horde, but the idea here is to catch them off guard, and once your Lava Hound is about to explode, then you drop the Rage spell and let those lava pups do crazy damage to the tower. And normally, if you can catch an opponent off guard with this, you can usually take out the tower by itself with one Lava Rage push, or at least do over 50% damage to that tower. Now, this is the deck I'll be using. I am on my main account here, as you can see. I don't actually have the Lava Hound yet on my main account. Let's go ahead here and take a look at some replays, and then we'll finish off with a live battle. So here we are, guys, facing off against a level 9 Diego Perez here in the new Frozen Peak Arena. And I actually have a decent starting hand here with the Musketeer as well as the Goblins. The one downside to this deck is sometimes you can get caught with a bad card rotation, like if you have the Fireball, the Zap Spell, the Cannon, and maybe your Lava Hound to start, because you never really want to start out with a Lava Hound push. It's kind of risky. Now right here, going to go in on the right hand side with a slow push with that Musketeer. Now unfortunately, take a look at his Princess, how far away my Musketeer is from the tower, and she still manages to damage the tower as well as the Princess. I definitely think the Princess should have a nerf as far as the radius of her splash damage. The area damage should be reduced a little bit. Now right here, fortunately my Valkyrie was played in the back there, and she will meet his Valkyrie right in front of my tower, be able to take her out with my Crown Tower support, which is always a good thing. But take a look at my hand right here. I don't really have anything to play to support my Valkyrie, so unfortunately I do have to let her die, and I do have to place down my Cannon, which really isn't ideal, because if my opponent had like a Royal Giant in his deck, I would be caught off guard, and the Cannon is more of a reactionary defense than a proactive defense. Now he's going to come in with his Hog Rider right here, which is fortunate for me because, like I said, I placed down that Cannon, but for some reason he decided to go in with his Hog Rider. Maybe he thought he could make it past my Cannon, but the Goblins were able to take it out pretty quickly. And now right here, I have a slow push going on the right hand side with my Lava Hound, so going to go ahead and support the Lava Hound with some troops as soon as he makes his way over the river and starts having everything targeting him. Going to go ahead and use the Fireball here to damage that Tesla as well as the Princess, and then drop down my Musketeer. Now unfortunately for me, I didn't know he had minions in his hand yet, so I ended up using the Zap Spell right there, which ended up missing half of the minions, and if I knew he had minions, I would have saved my Fireball until later on in the battle.
Let's go.
Now, one thing I will say about this deck is if you want to try it out, you might want to consider replacing the Fireball for arrows. It's 1 elixir less, has a much wider area of effect, and will help you kill out minions and goblins much faster, and it's also easier to save enough elixir for a Lava Hound arrows push than it is to use a Lava Hound Fireball push. Now right here, he's got some barbarians coming back at me. I'm going to go ahead and use the Cannon as well as the Fireball to damage all those troops there and hopefully defend without getting any damage done to my tower. Musketeer going down to take out the Hog Rider, and he doesn't actually reach my tower, which is a really good thing. Now right here, going to go ahead and support my Musketeer with some Goblins up front and force him to spend a ton of elixir defending his tower. Now once again, setting up another push on the right hand side, and like I said earlier, all you need is really one successful push with the Lava Hound Rage spell to take out a tower. Right here, he's coming with the Hog Rider once again. Fortunately, I do have the Cannon up to take it out, as well as the Goblins, and he doesn't actually get any damage done to my tower, so that's a pretty good thing. And take a look at this push right here, guys. Valkyrie up front, Musketeer in the back, the Goblins going in there, the tower is distracted by my Lava Hound. Fireball going down to damage all those troops, Rage Spell going down, and take a look at how fast this tower dies, all the way from full health down to nothing in a matter of seconds. So I do get the 1 crown victory. Let's go ahead to the next replay here. So here we are, guys, facing up against another level 9, and he's using the Royal Giant Hog Rider strategy, which is a really strong strategy in this game right now. So it's going to be pretty tough to defend both the Royal Giant as well as a Hog Rider, and still have enough elixir to set up some pushes. He's going to start out pretty aggressive with the Hog Rider by itself. Now I do have the Cannon, fortunately, in my starting hand to take it out. Now take a look at the placement of my Cannon here. I was able to get both Crown Towers to help defend, which is always an ideal thing, but you do have to be very careful with your cannon placement. And I do this often, but sometimes you can get pretty greedy and end up not distracting that Hog Rider at all, so you do have to be careful, but it's always ideal to get both of your crown towers in the action. Now right here, I'm going with a Lava Hound Valkyrie push. Now taking a look back at this replay, I probably should have went ahead and used my Fireball to damage that bomber as well as the Musketeer, but I decided to use the Rage Spell to try and catch him off guard. Unfortunately, he did have the arrows ready to take out all of my lava pups. Now the arrows are a strong counter to this strategy, guys, but there are some ways around that. One of the things I like to do is to try and catch your opponent off guard, go in with maybe a Lava Hound, and then use your goblins and force them to use their arrows to kill your goblins, and then use that Rage Spell. Or you can throw in minions or something like that into your deck and try and catch your opponent off guard and wasting their arrows. Now right here, we're going to sit back and start building up the elixir. He's keeping the pressure on with a Musketeer. I'm going to go ahead and use my Valkyrie right at the bridge to take her out. And I'm not going to support this Valkyrie with anything on a counter push. I'm just going to let her go in there, and he's forced to spend elixir defending against her. Now take a look at my hand right here. I don't really have anything great to do anything, so I'm going to go ahead and use the Fireball, damage that bomber as well as the Knight, and then use my Musketeer to distract the Knight and take it out. Now I could have probably went in with a Lava Hound push and then used the Fireball, but I wanted to play it safe and wait for the right moment. Ideally, the double elixir period is when a lot of the magic happens with this deck. So here we are, guys, getting into the double elixir period. He's starting to set up a slow push with his Royal Giant way in the back left corner there. I'm starting to set up a push with my Lava Hound, so we're going to see which push wins right here. He's going to go ahead and support his Royal Giant with a Musketeer in the back, as well as a Bomber. I'm going to go ahead and drop down some Goblins in the back, just to cycle, and then try and use my Valkyrie from a different angle to hopefully distract the Bomber fire, and allow my Goblins to survive and take out that Royal Giant. So right there, we defended pretty successfully. Lava Hound going in there, but now that I know he has arrows in his deck, I'm not going to go ahead and use the Rage Spell just yet. Right here, dropping the Goblins down, he drops the Arrow Spell, so now that I know his arrows is out of rotation, I'm going to go ahead and use the Rage Spell. So take a look at this, Rage Spell going down here, Lava Pups exploding, doing some pretty decent damage to that tower, bringing it all the way down to 11 health. Now unfortunately, half of the Lava Pups ended up being distracted by the Knight, so I wasn't able to finish the tower off, but it is within zap range, so all I have to do is zap that tower once, and I will get the 1 crown victory. So here we go, guys, a couple of seconds left, tower going down, and I do get the 1 crown victory. Let's go ahead and do a live battle here. So here we go, guys, hopefully we get a decent opponent, facing a level 9. I've been facing a ton of level 9s today, with level 10 commons and like level 7 and 8 rares. It's been actually a hard day today. It seems like some days, ooh, he's coming in hot right here. It seems like some days I face like equal level opponents, and then other days I just face like really strong opponents. It's kind of weird that way, but we defended that not too bad. I think we won the elixir trade there by 1. So we're gonna go ahead and start setting up a push here with the Musketeer on the left hand side. See what he does. He has a Giant as well as a Hog Rider, so this might be a struggle defending both of these tank units. His Fireball thankfully does not one-shot my Musketeer. That does make a huge difference if it does. Go ahead and use this. Fortunately, the Spear Goblins, nope, they took out my Musketeer. Let's go ahead and get the Zap once again right here. Zap going down. Goblin will kill that Giant, and there we go. So not too bad, and now he's probably back to his Hog Rider again. So we're going to have a hard time kind of keeping up with this. These cycle decks right now are just so strong in the game, and it does kind of make it hard to use these heavier decks because you're constantly defending their pushes, and they just keep cycling between different strategies, as you can see right here. Wizard going down. I've been facing a ton of people using Wizards today. Kind of weird, actually. Let's go ahead and surround that Wizard, take it out first, then hopefully the Goblins kill that Giant. And now, hopefully we can set up something decent here. We'll have the Fireball ready in case he drops down, minions or something like that. Mini P.E.K.K.A going down. Gonna go ahead and get my Valkyrie ready here. We'll kind of sit on this Rage Spell here and see. He might have arrows ready, so we're gonna go ahead and use Rage right here. He might have arrows ready for this. Go ahead and do this right here. And he doesn't actually, so take a look at how much damage those Rage Pups are doing to that tower. And that's what I mean, guys. This tower all the way down to 240 health. So definitely a really strong push right there. Definitely happy with those results. Let's go ahead and use this as well as this. Hopefully no Wizard is incoming. Fireball going down, so he predicted that Goblin drop pretty good there. So you have to kind of mix up your strategy a little bit. if you become too predictable, they can do stuff like that, like fireballing your tower and getting everything you drop down in one fireball. So we're going to go ahead and ignore that bomber. Start setting up another push here on the left-hand side. Valkyrie making it into the tower. She's going to give me the 1 crown lead. Unfortunately, I played my musketeer too far behind. Let's go ahead and use some goblins here to kick out this mini P.E.K.K.A. So definitely not too bad right there. All we have to do is defend for the next 20 seconds or so, and we will be able to beat this higher level. Let's go ahead and use our cannon right here to distract this giant. Go ahead and use our musketeer. And I'm kind of thinking about using my Lava Hound here just to distract on the right-hand side. We'll wait and see. He drops down the Hog Rider. Go ahead and zap that. Drop one of these, and then use a fireball. And there we go, guys. We do get the 1 crown victory. Anyways, that's going to do it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.